See more shenanigans. See more.
She was shaking.
Child, I ain't got no sense. Welcome back to another episode of See More Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Cause we gonna what?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
As always.
As always. Jarvis, tell the people what's happening. What we talking about?
To check or not to check.
As in like pay to check? Or as in like check me?
Check you. I'm about to check you. Should you check your partner in public?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Why would you do that?
If they wrong, they wrong.
But why would you check them? Y'all are a unit, correct?
Yeah.
So why do you think it's okay to check your partner in front of other people?
No. I don't.
Oh, well, you said check them in the public.
That was
Okay, whatever.
provocative. It's going to get the people going.
Get the people going.
So, yeah. So, the topic comes up of, should you check your partner?
Did you like see this somewhere or something?
Well, because it's a thing that always comes. There's always, if a partner is wrong or you may disagree with something that they may have said or went about a way of doing it, should you check them right then and there? Like even if they're dead wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you ride with them for that moment in public, and then when they get and you guys get in private, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, that wasn't right. You was dead wrong on that. Like, do you hold them accountable in private? You know.
Yeah, I feel like don't ever check me in public.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that means I'm right. I'm not saying that means I'm wrong. I'm just saying don't check me and when I say in public, I literally mean like don't check me in front of everybody else.
Exactly.
Don't call me out in front of everybody else. Like, you can literally pull me up to the side. You can literally say in the bathroom when we get in the car or whatever the case may be, like, oh babe, yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with I didn't necessarily agree with like what you were doing. I didn't agree with your statement, and that was a bit embarrassing. Now, I'm not saying if your partner is acting crazy, don't like pull them over like, hey, like don't like try to diffuse this. I'm not saying that, but like don't be like, you on that bullshit, or why do you think that that's okay, or blah blah blah. I'm not saying that at all. That's what I'm saying. Like don't do that. Don't chastise your
significant
your
other, yeah.
In those settings.
Because at the end of the day, you guys are one. And the main thing is that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
It shows a lack of disrespect to your partner. To be able to do that in public, no one wants that. No one wants to be publicly humiliated in public and all that. And you want to respect your partner. So you can tell them, hey, when you get private and you're like, hey, that was all left. You ain't need to do that. You was wrong on that wrong. That's called holding them accountable and being able to love and support them in private. Now in public, you can ride with them like, hey, nah. But when you get in private, you able to tell them. Also, there's another thing, and this is one thing that I usually try to get sometimes. Don't let it get to that point.
Yeah.
To where that person may have to go to that. I always say prevention is a form of protection. You want to be able to get that in the beginning before it even gets to that point. So that way it doesn't over explode or you have to feel like you have to step in.
No, I agree, because I think that when you do certain things in public, it gives all eyes on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it gives everybody else something to gossip about.
It does.
Because and I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, okay? I'm that one that I would be like in the car talking like, yeah, you saw how he did. You saw how she said.
That's a whole talk right home.
Hello, because I'm that person, and so and it's like, I mean, is that messy of me to do? Probably so, but that's the reality. We all that's the world we live in.
Don't.
People talk.
Yeah.
People literally talk. So it's one of those things of like, don't get nobody nothing to talk about.
Period. Don't give nobody nothing to talk about.
Cause you could tell me I'm wrong all day and night, but tell me I'm wrong behind closed doors when nobody else is watching. Because the way you're gonna tell me I'm wrong may not be perceived well by others. While I may perceive it just fine, but you still got other people who are looking and judging, and that's just not something you like. Nobody wants to have to deal with that.
Absolutely.
That's really what that boils down to. Because I'm not always right and you ain't always right. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we got to be a united front, period.
A united front and a team.
In a team, that part.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll take it even a step further. It's not just in public, like in front of other people. It's also in front of your kids.
Oh, absolutely. In front of your kids. In front of your family.
Yes, family.
Because family is not forgiving, just so y'all know.
Because one thing we know, people gonna try to pit other people against each other, and this even goes for kids. Kids, when they get of age, oh well, they'll go ask mama for something. Mama be like, okay, yeah, but dad'll be like, nah. When the parents have both made decisions without discussing it amongst each other, so now the kids will try and play those two against each other.
Because kids are very smart like that, and they will try to play you.
They are. You have to be united front on both at the same time. It was like, hey,
I've literally seen a child play their parents against each other, and I had to literally tell like the parent who I was friends with, like, I just want you to know that your child just played you, like. So the daddy didn't already said this, so I just want you to know that. So don't fall for the ugly though. Like I literally let the kid do what they was doing, say what they was gonna say, and let the mama say whatever. And then as soon as the kid walked off, I was like, just so you know, they already asked their daddy, and their daddy said X, Y, and Z, and you just said the opposite. So I just want you to know that. And then it was like, look, effort, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And they handled the situation as they needed to, but. No, they be doing that.
They do. Kids are smart. They will try to figure out ways to get what they want sometimes.
And kids would choose. So even like you, because going back to the point of you saying, don't do those things, still be united in front of the kids, like no arguing, all other stuff, or whatever the case may be. Kids will eventually, the more they see it, they decide to pick sides.
They do.
So I watched this show called Love and Marriage, Detroit, right? And on the show, there's a couple, and the kids, they hear and they see whatever they see, but whatever they were seeing, it was like they saw dad doing wrong. And so of course, at some point he got put out. Eventually he was able to come back, all this other stuff. They're married. And one of the little girls was like, Daddy, are you gonna be nice to mommy now?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so it's like kids see it.
They see it.
So it's like not only are they seeing an argument, but it's just like y'all aren't protecting your kids. And I will also say kids aren't dumb. They know when there's like some weird shit going on in general, even if you're trying to hide it. But like it's better to like try to keep a lid on it than to be all in their face doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so it's one of those things where it's literally like you have to be mindful of what's being displayed. But yeah, and they was like, you can't come back if you're doing this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they took their mom's side. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. I mean, that's their mama. I mean, that's like in their mind. What are you talking about? They're little girls. Like, who you think? Like, you gonna talk to my mama like that? Even though they're these girls, but it's like, the hell. So I think it's literally just one of those things of like, just you have to be mindful of that.
You do.
You don't get to chastise, and then like checking your significant other in front of their in front of family. It's also always, it could be very much so problematic.
Absolutely.
Especially if the family don't like them.
Oh yeah, that's actually ammunition for them to use it against you.
Waiting. Gun loaded, okay? Because you see how I told you, we ain't gotta respect him or we ain't gotta respect her because look how they talk. Look at it. Look at it. Child.
told you they weren't good together no way.
That part.
So it's all, that's why it's always important to not give others entertainment or something to talk about.
That part.
You always, when you and your significant
because they talking anyway.
They're right.
They really are. They talking anyway.
Let them make up their own stories and all that. Don't give them the ammunition.
That part.
Don't give them the ammunition.
'Cause shots fired.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So how do you feel though there are ways to prevent that from happening?
What?
Is there being able to check your partner? Like, do you feel like, is there something like better communication beforehand in case of something like a touchy subject may come up or something? Or does it depend on the scenario?
I think it really just depends on the situation at hand. But, you guys can still just have basic conversations. Like, if you and your partner are just, y'all have good communication skills, this will be something that you guys probably would have already or should have already established, quite honestly, to begin with, right? Of like, if we ever, because I think we even had that conversation before, like, if we ever out in the public and I'm wrong, like, give me a tap, give me a nudge, or text me, because we always looking at our phone at some point, or like, whatever the signal going to be, depending on what space we in, because the signal may change, and that way I know, like, let it go, or give me a look, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't necessarily, probably can't shake your head, but just give me that look, like, girl, no, stop. Or, pulling me up to the side, like, oh, yeah, well, y'all, hold on 1 second. I got to go act. I got to show her something or something like that. Like, get out, get me out of there. Or vice versa, of course, so that you can, like, stop it from escalating, really. Because 9 times out of 10, probably already started. I feel like, we've been in situations where I'm pretty good. I try to be mindful and catch myself. But I feel like we've been in situations where, like, maybe somebody had been irritating me, and it's not necessarily that you think I'm wrong for what I said, but you probably be like, your mindset is more so of like, we could have handled that a little bit better. Like, we ain't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, you will tell me that in the car, but I think I'm also very much so well aware that maybe that could have went differently. That I would ask, like, you think I did too much? You think I tweaked? And you'd be like, I mean, I wouldn't have said that, but here's why I wouldn't have said that. And then we talk about it. But in the moment, like, you would get, like, you giving me, like, the little nudge on my knee under the table, like, let it go. Because once you start doing that, I already know what time it is. I'm like, just shut up, Shaniqua. It ain't even worth it. Or whatever the case may be, whatever that's happening.
Right.
Because it's from my remembrance, it's not usually us where there's a problem. Like, it's like me and you at it. It's usually me and somebody else talking or having some type of discussion, and it's getting a little heated. And I'm never the one that's really, like, mad about something. It's usually the other party, but it's because, like, they can't handle what's being said, and you're like, and I'm like, let's go. Like, this is my type of time right here. And you like, would you stop? Or let it go? And I'm like, nah, motherfuckers opened up the can and whooped their ass, and I'm finna whoop some ass. Like, what are we talking about? But I feel like, and I feel like even, like, with you, like, we've been in situations where you're a lot more calmer than me. So, meaning, because I'm not, like, a hothead, but just meaning, like, a lot of stuff don't faze you. You just like, I don't care, and I'm not even finna engage to begin with. But for you, it'll be a moment of, we get to the car, and you be like, and you just let loose.
Mask off, look.
Right.
Mask off.
Literally, mask off. And I'll be like, what? You was just fine 5 minutes ago. But it'd be like, oh, okay, so you hit that very well.
Yeah, because, and that's one of those things, like, I know for me, like, it's one of those things, like, I'm very like kind of conscious. Like I'm not going to do anything that's going to embarrass myself or embarrass you.
Yeah.
So it's one of those
Yeah, I think we're
things.
both very considerate of that.
Absolutely.
Considerate of that. Like, yeah, let's not
Absolutely.
embarrass each other.
So we're always conscious of like how we go about things.
I think even just continuing on the topic of like how do you like unite a front or not, or check somebody or not, or just being united front or not necessarily checking them, but like the idea or the act of like we just got into it and now we got to go out and be in public and we still ain't even finished. We ain't even finished like telling our shit and discussing like what was on our mind and whatever. And so now we have to literally like have on his united front like everything is all good, but I'm really waiting till I get home so I can put them up in headlock because you think you slick.
Unfinished business,
right? Finish him. And so I think that's important too because don't nobody need to know what's going on in your household, right?
It is.
Like, well, they don't need to know that y'all just got into like a little dispute,
right?
Before walking, and I mean, and we've had those moments happen where it's like it was so random. I never forget. We had to go to one of my homegirls. It was one of her like big birthday celebrations, and it was like it was such a huge miscommunication that happened that exploded because like you heard one thing and I'm like, what are you talking about? And now you're irritated, man. I'm like, you tweaking. But as we have to prepare to walk out the door, and it's like, and I literally was like, all right, we in the car, we pulled through. I was like, all right, put your game face on. Don't be up here pissing me off in this damn party. Better act like you like somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we had a good time. We did. And then we was able, and I think that also helped us because we was able to come back home and we was calm, and then we was able to talk about it like, okay, what happened in that moment? Right. And then that's when we realized it was a huge miscommunication that took place, like, or a misunderstanding actually, because you heard something that wasn't said, and I'm like, I never said that. Like, what? In which then you had to apologize because he's like, oh, well, damn. I thought that's what I heard. And I'm like, no. But again, we still had to show up because we still have families and friends that we still have to show up for. And their life don't stop just because we have you know what I'm saying? Yep. But it's also like what Jay-Z said, nobody good when the family feud. Because that's why they didn't go to Kanye and them wedding. Yeah, if you listen to 444, that's why they ain't go to.
I gotta go re-listen to that. It's been a while.
I'm just saying. I'm the real fan over here. I'm just letting y'all know. But yeah, he was like, nobody wins when the family feud.
That is true.
And apparently that's why they didn't go to Kanye and what's his name wedding, because him and Beyonce was feuding. They was feuding. All the allegations and shit was happening. Becky with the good hair, all that stuff. Right. I don't know. Allegedly. I wasn't there. I mean, Solange did beat him up in the elevator, so it must make it true. Yeah, hey. It must make it true. I don't know, but just saying. I don't know, but yeah, I think all couples in general should like know like what's their threshold for like handling those different things, and then just simply being able to know like what are those signs, like what are the signals we can give each other when they may be right or wrong or whatever, and you don't want to like check them, but you want them to like just like calm down so that it don't continue whatever is going on. Or even if you guys start to like feud with each other in public, it's really a matter of like, you know what, let's not have this let's table this conversation until we get home, exactly, or in the car, and then go from there. Yeah, because we don't want to be doing this in public. It's not fair to y'all, and it's not fair to other people either.
It's not.
So.
And then if you also have those skills, you also have to, it's also about learning your partner as well. Yeah. Learning when your partner, okay, they might be getting a little irritated. Like, you may see signs of them, like, getting frustrated or mad or things like that. And it's one of those things where you have to tell them, like, hey, okay, calm down. So that also can entail into it. like you said, figuring out their threshold.
Mm-hmm.
And then just remembering, you guys are a team.
That part.
You guys are a team.
Ain't no need to compete against each other.
No need to. Because a lot of times what people don't understand is when you're married, disagreements happen.
Yeah.
You may disagree, like you have different thought processes and everything. You're not going to agree on everything. So it's your best to be able to communicate it, figure it out, but you have to do that in a private setting. So that way when you guys go out in public, you are united, standing with 10 toes down for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. That it's not always, you're not always going to be on one accord. You may not always have the same thought process and agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. What was your question?
The question is, are you saying, like you were talking about, like your significant other and their family, or someone their family may not like you so good? So let's tell you this. Tell me how you describe me, your significant other, to other people.
Like your personality? Laid back and quiet.
Laid back and quiet?
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm like, I know. I literally just told somebody that earlier. I know. Jarvis quiet. He laid back. He just like, whatever. Okay.
You want to know how I describe you?
Well, yeah. And that's the question.
I describe her as a smart, very outgoing person. She's someone that is able to, she's going to help you. She's a very great friend. You guys are good friends. She's going to be able to help you, motivate you, inspire you.
I'm finna stop that though.
What?
Because F them. No, I'm just playing. Just kidding.
But you are a very outgoing, inspirational person that can reach a lot of people in different ways.
Oh, that's so nice. He loves me.
Oh yeah, that's why I call you my superstar.
He actually sung that to me at our wedding.
I did.
That was his song to perform.
Because every time I hear that song, I always think of her.
Oh, cold hands, bald head.
It's warm. I'm warming you up though.
He is so corny. So corny.
So yeah.
I cannot. But yeah, so I don't know. I think that was a pretty good topic overall. Just really reminding people really of like, y'all a team. You and your significant other, especially y'all married, y'all are a team, and you gotta remember that y'all not on opposing teams. Y'all on the same team. Excuse me. You have to have the same goal. It's like going back to our conversation when we were talking about submission.
Yes.
Like y'all on the same mission in this marriage, relationship, absolutely, whatever the case may be. So remember that and stick to it.
Absolutely.
Go back to the foundations of it all, the basics. If you feel like, and we was talking about this on one of my guests on my other podcast. If you just feel like, you guys are losing your way a little bit, like go back to the basics because you have it. You created the foundation.
Yep.
Go back to it.
It's okay to stay. Hey, you know what? Let's go back to step one, and let's rekindle ourselves and work our way back up to that.
Yeah, and it's okay, like, to tell your partner that they're wrong if they're wrong, but it's not okay to embarrass and chastise them in person, and it's not. In public, and it's not okay for if you're the one in the wrong. It's not okay for you to be embarrassing your partner either in public and thinking like, oh, they ain't gonna check me, so I'm gonna act the fool. No,
exactly.
You don't act the fool either.
Exactly.
Just saying. Anyways, got any more to add about this topic? Not trying to rush you or nothing. I was just asking.
I don't have anything else to add. But if you all have anything to add, you can put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
We will definitely love to hear your thoughts on this topic. You can
like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media at Seymour in Action. Okay? Y'all know what time it is. It's Seymour Shenanigans. Seymour Shenanigans. We gon' shenanigan. We gon' shenanigan. Peace.